we, as black people, I feel, we seem to think that our thinking has to be monolithic, which is why when I done the Tommy Robinson interview, so many black people were like, oh, he's a racist. He's this. You shouldn't give him a platform. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, but hang on a minute. The BBC gave Tommy Robinson an interview. Channel 4 gave
Yeah.
Tommy an interview. So many people give Tom Robinson an interview. It doesn't mean they align with his views. It's a media outlet. It's a media platform for you to have the conversation. And people tended to think that because I'm black, I must not have I must align myself, or I'm not allowed to put someone on my platform that I don't necessarily agree with. It's like, bro, it's a media platform. Do people not get it?
But this is where I feel like people like you, it's like you haven't, people don't understand how you got to the point that you did in terms of how you educated yourself specifically, the tools of sort of thought that you use when you look at people like Tommy Robinson, innit?
Right.
So, for example, you can see the nuance in the difference between a liar and a racist. So, as far as I look at Tommy Robinson, he's either a liar or he's a racist. If he's lying, about what he's talking about, which is why we know him, about all of these girls that have been, you get me? That's
Mm.
that's the negative thing. But if you're just saying he's a racist because what he's saying is the truth, you're missing the nuance, but you're able to see that and other people aren't. So all they see from Tommy Robinson is some racist guy because that's the little bit that they've seen, because that's all their myopic sort of,
View.
what's it called? That's
Them
what,
out.
that's all that you can allow to see it. But because you've given yourself tools to think a bit differently that people haven't been able to have access to, which is where I think you need to educate people on those things. Like when I watch your speakers corner thing, I'm like, the reason why these people can't understand what you're saying is because they have never read a book about how to debate or how to actually discuss and not
Or to
argue.
critically think. Yeah, or to
Exactly.
critically think as well. Yeah.
Exactly
So are
that.
you
But
saying
it's that's
so are you saying in the black community we need to learn more critical thinking?
I think we need to share the way the way we use our critical thinking skills because we all have different ways of thinking critically, innit? But if
Right.
we show people the way we got to it, rather than just like me, I say wild shit all the time. But if people sometimes miss my point because I'm not describing to you how I got there, like, and I think that's what a lot of people miss because what you're saying isn't incorrect, but it's that whole thing of they haven't read the books you've read in it, and it's slowing the pace down for people, not in a
Right. Right.
patronizing way. These are all
Right.
people with degrees. This is why it frustrates me so much. People act like they're so smart with their degrees, but they're so retarded that they can't see nuance and they can't critically think and maybe just be like, well, even if Tommy Robinson was a racist, if he's telling the truth about all of them rapes, yeah, like
Yeah.
that's a lot more of a peak thing as far as I'm concerned than anything else in it. That needs to
Yeah.
be dealt with, innit? He can be a
Yeah.
racist, innit? That's
Yeah.
not doing nothing to no one. He's getting punched up in the street. Do you get me? But people aren't able to slow things down and see that, innit? And I think
Mm.
that's the only thing that I think would help from your perspective, innit? Is that like again, it's thankless, innit? I'm telling you the truth, and then I'm also going to tell you how we can all get to the truth together. If you arrive at a different truth, that's cool, but as long as you use the same tools as me, innit?
Right.
Like because
Right.
people don't. Yeah, that's it. I think it's simple, isn't it? We didn't learn how to discuss without getting aggravated, innit?
Right. Okay. Because the thing is, you're probably
But
right because I think black people can be quite an emotionally led people. Um, like we lead with our emotion more so than our critical thinking capabilities. Like
mm,
we tend to just be like, oh yeah, because the thing is that we've been whipped up. In my personal point of view, we've been whipped up to lead with our emotion. So um, so when someone comes and speaks, calmly and
yeah,
coolly, it says, okay, so what do you want? They don't want to hear that. They just want to hear the emotion, the emotion, the emotion. Oh, I feel bad, and that's not great, and blah blah blah. And it's like, well, can we
mm,
just calm the fuck down a little bit? Yeah.
yeah.